Hi everybody, my name is Michelle, and today we are going to go over some career prep for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about are your resumes. And I always like to tell people that your resume, you want to think of it like you're painting a beautiful picture and you are guiding the reader's eyes along that page, and you are letting them know what important information that they are looking for. So contact information, most important. How are they going to get a hold of you? All you really need on there is your phone number and your email. If you have your LinkedIn URL that you want to put on there, that would be great, but you don't need to put address. You don't need to put a lot other information on there. Now, what are recruiters looking for on your resume? 3 things to remember: where you worked, what you were doing, so your job title, and then how long you were there. Now, when you think about adding your skill set and describing your position, don't be afraid to brag on yourself. Be sure to use qualitative and quantitative information that will enhance that pretty picture that you are painting. Okay, now let's talk about interviews. So, from the moment that you answer the phone, and it could be a potential recruiter or hiring manager, you are on the interview. So if you are not in a place that you can answer the phone comfortably, don't answer it. Let them leave a voicemail and you'll get back to it. Now, if you are doing a phone interview or a phone screen, a lot of the times that's how recruiters first get to know you. I want you to stand up. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to smile as you're having that conversation, because you can hear a smile on the other end of the phone and you want to be able to put your best foot forward. Okay, we've heard the term always dress to impress, right? Now, I want you to always dress to impress regardless of the type of interview that you're in. So if it's phone, if it's virtual, if it's in person, you are dressing up and you are feeling wonderful about yourself. Okay, now virtual prep. There's a lot to think about for the virtual interviews. A lot of companies have moved to the virtual prep interviews here in recent years. So think about your background, like literally what's behind you. Think about where you're gonna do this. Is it your house? Are you gonna be in the car? If you're gonna be in the car, let them know ahead of time that that's gonna be the case. You wanna think about the lighting. You wanna think about, is your dog at home? Are your kiddos at home? You wanna think about, are you using your laptop or your phone? And what software is this interview on? So all of those things that you have to think about the day before. I don't want you doing this right before the interview is supposed to happen. Think about it ahead of time. That way you're not feeling rushed and you're not feeling anxious when it happens. Now, when you're in the interview, everything's going great. You want to be sure that when it's coming towards the end that you have done your homework and you have researched the company, okay? I have seen people not get jobs because they haven't done this piece. You want to show that you're excited. You want to show that you know what they are into, what they do on the weekends, what they do for community service. All of those things is why you want to research, and then you want to prepare questions ahead of time. I would always go to interviews with 10 to 15 questions prepared ahead of time. It's okay to look at them and say, oh, well, you've already answered some of them, but ask them about themselves, ask them about the company, ask them anything that you want. This shows your interest. And if you haven't told them already, tell them that you're interested. Tell them that you would be so happy to have this opportunity. Now, follow up. So, thank you notes really matter. You want to either send an email or do a handwritten thank you note. I think that those go a little bit farther, but you can always follow up with an email maybe an hour after the interview and then send that handwritten thank you note within a couple of days. That is the stuff that's going to set you apart from the other candidates, okay? Now, another piece of homework, you want to be able to keep track of all of the applications, of all of the interviews that you're going on. You want to track where you applied, when. You want to track if they called you back, if you did a phone interview, if you went in person. All of those things, do your homework and keep track of it. So, another really important thing is LinkedIn. If you haven't used this platform, don't think about it just as social media. It is very important. It is your virtual resume, and you can apply to jobs, and then you can be found by recruiters on there. So if you don't have a LinkedIn, go on there, set up an account, and see what happens. Okay, Last bit, you want to be able to advocate for yourself along all of the things that we just discussed: the phone interview, the virtual interview, in person, on LinkedIn, with your follow-ups to the interview. You are owning your power, you are owning your experience, and you are owning where you are going in life. So you want to be able to stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself, and use all of the things that we just talked about to land that next opportunity.